Hey everybody, hi, it's CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. Across the Red River is beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. The lighted bridge behind us lit up with the Mardi Gras themed lights. We're right in the middle of the Mardi Gras season. You guys, uh, I'm not Catholic, so the Catholics out there, you know more about it than I do. It's just a liturgical season uh, before Easter, 40 days before Easter. Mardi Gras, like there's like a thing where you come in there and you're like, let's just get all this sin out of our system and then we're gonna give it up for 40 days and then we're gonna celebrate at Easter and sin again, I guess. I don't know. I get that times of sacrifice can be, good for the spirit, certainly can be good for the body. And then there are times when we are supposed to fatten up, break the fast, so to speak, So it's like, I think some of that echoes, cellular history. We maybe, all the way back to the dawning of awareness in its earlier forms. But there was sometimes it's like, oh my God, we're so cold and starved in this cave or hole or whatever. And as soon as we get food, and it's been long since we've had food, as soon as we get food, we're going to eat it. And then we're going to store it and we're going to squirrel it away. And oh my God, now it's getting to the time where it's not going to keep forever. And maybe the season, we're noticing maybe that our food is not going to be as prevalent in the next season. We need to really, really fatten up so we can get some protection against the cold and extra nourishment. Some of that is just animal instinct, and it's our way of trying to understand our animal nature. And that's what philosophy is. And philosophy is, I think, the philosophy is the cousin of science and religion. And I think there's, science is our quest to understand our physical world. Religion is us trying to understand our emotional world. And philosophy answers the question of what is existence? And well, science answers what is existence. We answer why is existence when we talk about philosophy. So, and then, of course, science is how to preserve existence, how to perpetuate, how to build upon existence, the experience of it, how to best enhance it. So I don't know. It's like sometimes simplest answers are the best, and then everything that's going on in the world at any given time, it's just a bunch of people, hopefully, trying to answer to the ideas that suit their ideas of the reason for being, what's important, what's not, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I fundamentally believe that even the most corrupt among us but I don't think that they're necessarily evil. I think that they are corrupt because they're morally confused and they're just trying to do the best that they can do. And I think that the most pious among us have moments in time in which we act with malicious intent. So, you know, well, that's heavy. Let's talk about something that's not heavy. Coke Zero is it's flavored with aspartame, so you don't get that heavy, sugary feeling. And something else that, well, I'm feeling lighter. I feel, yeah, just coming out, taking a walk and everything did me good. I went out walking today, went south of town, just kind of got out, took a little ride on our city buses. I just needed to get out and do some stuff, you know. I didn't really get much accomplished, but I got out, and that was kind of cool. But I got the word that my friend's dog, Luca, one of his dogs, you know, I take care of those dogs when the family goes away, but Luca, they had to put him down today, so I was kind of sad, because it's like, I take care of those dogs. I get like emotionally attached when I take care of animals. And in videos from like last year, if you go back and look, Luca was this big, huge, brown, English, muffin-looking thing that just walked around in a circle, chased his tail, and then stayed right by my side. Literally would sleep with me and push me off the bed, kind of thing. That kind of thing, you know. It's a great big giant living body pillow, you know. And then they had to put him down today because he got really sick, and they finally had to take him in, and he was hospitalized for a few days, and they really just came to the conclusion that the best thing would be to relieve him of his sickness, you know, because they weren't going to be able to cure him. They euthanized him, and you know, sad. And I'm sad for the family. You know, the death of a pet is always a sad thing, but it's really a sad thing when the pet is extremely cuddly and loving, and you know, yeah. So I was bummed out, but you know, and he wasn't even my dog. Like I would see him like just a few times a year, and maybe I'd get to sit with them once a year if I was lucky, you know. So it's not like I have like a deep connection, but I did feel for him that it was sad they had to put him down. He's such a cute thing. I'm still speaking of him in like present tense, you know, but anyway. It's also why I don't have a pet of my own, because I am one person, a single person, and because I live a semi-active lifestyle, I get out and go to bed. I can't stay at the house all the time with the pet, and I live in apartments. I don't have like a large grounds to keep a pet, so I really just don't think that I would be suitable for a pet at this stage in my life, because I'm still very much active. I come out, I take long walks and stuff like that, and dogs get anxiety sometimes if you leave them alone or something, so whatever. I tried to, I guess 2 or 3 years ago, I tried to adopt a beagle puppy. Now he wasn't a newborn puppy, but he was young enough that he was, he maybe just under a year old. So he was, but I would go down to, take the garbage out, and this dog would just be like, scratching and whining. So it's like I knew I could never keep him as a pet because he would tear the apartment up with anxiety, and I didn't want to have to get a kennel, and kennel him because I don't like that. And I didn't think that, I don't think he would have been quiet if I was gone for the neighbors. The neighbors would have been disturbed. So, and then the time before then, I had a dog, a puppy. His name was Oscar. And we did well. He was a small dog, but then I realized, with Oscar, having a pet and everything, I'm just never really going to be able to go anywhere on any sort of vacation or anything like that. And shortly after my mom passed, I just really wanted to get out of Shreveport for a little while. And so I went down to New Orleans, and while I was down there, I came across a really, really awesome apartment. And I was like, well, I knew that I really didn't want to come back to Shreveport at the time, because the apartment that I was living in, I left it unlocked. And just on the off chance, I had a hunch I was going to go down to look at an apartment, and then was I going to come back here? I didn't know. But when I got down there to look at it, it was kind of okay, well, you have to grab it now and take care of it now, or you're going to lose it. It was really a sweet apartment. It was a good opportunity to live down there for a little bit and clear my head, and I really needed to change of pace. So I didn't come back for about 9 or 10 months or whatever. I mean, it was in the days of my Facebook or whatever. So, but yeah, I needed to do something else. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to step away from a situation. Sometimes you got to get away from the noise, right? Of any sort of situation. And I don't mean that it's loud noise. What I mean is, by that, the stickiness of a situation, anything. Sometimes you just, if you're in the middle of something, you're not going to be able to process it until you get out of it. And that's what was going on around 2013ish or whatever, when I moved down to New Orleans for about 9 months or so. Now I am going to Florida. I've assured everybody that I'm just going so I can go take a cruise. And it's not even I think of it as an extended cruise. It's really not. I'm going to be on the boat for 18 days. And that's because I purchased several small cruises back to back. It started out with me buying this one cruise, and then I was like, well, while I'm down there, I may as well just get the cruise right next to it, because it's it's also cheap. These were when they were I was buying them, and it was during the season where everything was cheaper. Now if you wait and you take a cruise right in the middle of summer, for instance, the cruise that I'm going on, when I come back, the very next cruise that I could add on if I wanted to, but I don't want to because of the price, is more than double. It's not more than double, but just a little under double. It's literally for 3 days on the boat, and they want over $600. And I'm like, if I were traveling with someone, I could do that. But as a single person, I'm not going to go sleep in someone else's. And I think it's because by perspective, I know that during the off times, if I wait till the down season, it's going to be a lot cheaper. So the thing that's driving me though is I really wanted to be able to do. I really wanted to be able to achieve platinum status. I think that's what they call it. If I achieve it, I would be platinum status for life on this boat. And then I realized, It's basically you get one more jug of water, one more free jug of water. And then you get free free express boarding. Which right now is $100 for the cabin to express per cabin. If you want express boarding, you pay $100. If you're traveling with someone, you would split that cost. But while it's nice, I'll stand in line at my boarding time and wait, and I'll save $100, like, yeah. So, let's see. Oh, my rent. I pay rent to my apartment management through a payment tool. But last month, it wasn't working. And this month it's not working either. So I guess they're going to have me, if it's not working by tomorrow, maybe I'll pay with another money order if they'll allow that. But I'm not going to pay late fees if the payment app is not working. So, but then it's like, wow, well, if I end up doing that, then maybe I need to pay rent early before I go on my trip. Of course, if I do that, it's going to cut into my vacation money. But I'm going to be on a boat and everything's all inclusive, so I realize how much money do I actually need to have on hand anyway? Not much. So that would work out. Just these little minor details. I'm the kind of person that if you give me a crisis, there's something about me that can get through a monumental tectonic shift. I can weather that big thing. I can get through it. But it's those little bitty things that just irk me and just annoy me. And this is an issue not with my credit union, because I'm able to make payments on all my other things, remotely and everything. It's an issue with, because I thought maybe there's some sort of block on my account or something, but it's not. It's not. It's actually there's something wrong with their payment tool. And I don't know. Let's see. Well, so what I would do if I were working in their IT department is I literally would take the client who's having this issue, and I would completely remove them from the database. Completely. And then I would re-enter manually as if they were starting anew. Because you can always go back in and update and add and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if there's a hiccup and I couldn't find out what the hiccup would be, then I would hard copy the stats of the account and then delete it, and then manually, then I would just redo it as a new account. And then, that's what I would do. But what happens in a great big system like that is that when you do that, the system doesn't know that you're just rebooting it and everything like that. So you basically have to go through like hard copying all your history, and then creating a new account And then you'd have to take the information from the old account, which no longer exists, in the electronic system in the database, and you'd have to re-enter all that manually. And if its systems are just like a bureaucracy, if there's no protocol for that, then they're stuck and they don't know what they're doing and they don't know how to resolve it. So it's like, well, bummer. Because essentially what it might do is erase my history. But that's why you make the hard copies and your backup file and all that, But it's also not my job to tell them what to do with their IT department. Although today I did. I was talking to my assistant manager and I suggested, if it were me, if I were working in IT, I would, if this were a recurring issue, I would delete it. I would delete the account and I'd re-enter it as if it were new. I wouldn't just refresh. I wouldn't just clear cache. I would just, But, so, well, it'll be close to midnight by the time I get home. I'm still not exceptionally hungry. I'm liking the results of my Ozempic. Because I don't get this whole boy, I sure do want to eat, I don't, So that's kind of cool. Even when I started my keto thing, my health thing, about 5 or 6 years ago or whatever, when they first diagnosed me with diabetes type 2, and I was like, well, if it's just a matter of a few pounds that I need to decrease the body fat so that my body mass index will lower just a little bit, and that can resolve it, then that's something I could work on. So I started on a more physical and dietary routine to be a little bit more healthy. So I started being a little bit more physical, taking these walks and stuff, and gradually started going to the gym more, just calisthenics at home, that kind of stuff. Nothing that's gonna make me turn into a bodybuilder or anything like that, but just getting healthier. And then what else? Just I don't know. Diet, watch my diet. And in a few months, I was no longer, my A1C had just really dropped to where I was no longer diabetic, as far as the A1C numbers go. And then, of course, the shots came out some years ago, and I just now started it for the first time. I was like, why not? If I'm, if it helped me, my habits helped me get here, but maybe I feel like I've kind of gotten to a plateau or something like that, then maybe taking like an Ozempic shot or something like that can get me just that little bit I need to get over the edge to get, a really good A1C level, because I kind of float around that 6 to 6.2 A1C, and I'd love to get back down to like a 5.5, 6, something, whatever. So we'll see. It's amazing that those numbers sound so close together and so insignificant, but apparently the 0.2 to 0.3 to 0.4, those little bitty degrees mean a lot to the human biology. You know, as the fact of you know, the ketones that are in the body versus the insulin. It's all blood chemistry, you know, really. And so I don't understand it all, but I just know what they would like me to be. So, of course, I'm gonna go on a cruise, and I'll still try to be physical. I'll go to the gym and stuff, and I will still try to not be a glutton. But yes, I do intend to enjoy myself, though, and not necessarily deprive myself. So, yeah. That's why I'm kind of hitting everything heavy now. It's kind of like, what do you call it? Cramming for an exam. Getting the best possible shape that I can now, so that when I go away for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I can kind of lighten up a little bit and then really, really tighten back up again when I come back, you know, and just try not to ruin my progress while I'm on vacation. But I'm going to be, you know, yeah. I'll be around a lot of good food, so it'll be a good idea just to eat food to enjoy it, but not react in this whole like addictive thing that used to be very much like what used to happen. My body and my just everything, you know, like, you know, I led off by talking about how the sentient creature ponders its essence, its existence, why, and everything like that. And the next thing it does is it starts to become aware of its mortality, and without the idea of, hey, when I die, I'm just going to break down and become something else, and you know, that life will continue. Without that sort of cognitiveness, if there's any sort of emotion to it, then there will be an instinct that will kick in, and that happens to humans when we go through extreme bouts of no food. You know, like when you've ever really, 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 really been hungry, then you have this thing where, like, if people offer you food, you accept it and you eat it because you have just gotten into this habit of, well, in the long ago, you ate because you didn't know when you were going to be able to eat again. Would it be later that day, or would it be the next couple of days? You know, what kind of food would it be? You know what I mean? So after I got myself stabilized a little bit, that's kind of, I still had that habit of like, okay, I need to eat because I have no idea what's going to happen to me. And so I didn't turn down food. People offered me food, I would eat it, and even if I wasn't like hungry. And then sometimes, if the food was delicious, if it was really delicious, even if I wasn't really hungry, I would eat it because it was a treat. Because who knows when I'm going to be able to have this type of treat again? You know, I've been, you know, the kind of person that a friend might call me up and say, hey, do you want to go to late night breakfast? And maybe I would accept going to late night breakfast because I wanted the company too. Like, if I don't make myself available for this friendship or other friendships, if I'm not available when I'm needed to be available, then, you know, for companionship or whatever, then maybe one of these days that won't be an option and I won't have it. So let me get the company while I can get it, you know, that kind of thing, you know. And that's something that's we think of codependence as sometimes an addiction to approval, But that is underneath it all. Uh, the reason for that codependence, that addiction to approval, uh, that you say yes sometimes even when you don't want to say yes, and beyond being polite. It's, so. Well, now I still go out to late night Waffle House, but maybe I'm cool with just going out and saying, I can just have coffee. If I don't feel like eating, I can go out and have coffee. I found a medium on that. Or if I don't feel like going out, I mean, I've been asked, and it's like, well, I just got into my pajamas. I just got cozy. I'm laid up on the couch, gonna sit up and binge watch my favorite movie or shows or something, and I'm cozy, don't feel like fucking around. So I'll pass. That kind of stuff. I can do that now without being afraid that I'm going to end up, without, friends or something like that. But, and also today I was bored and anxious, and I didn't harangue a bunch of people into getting out and doing stuff. I went for a walk and soothed myself by the river, and I feel so much better. And I vlogged about it, talked about it, and it helps. The best thing about this video, though, is I get to tell people about how much I love Shreveport, what it means that I get to live here. And I have a home here that I appreciate and I love. And then I do get to go away on vacations and trips once in a while. And you know what? I'm always really glad to be back. I'm always glad to be coming home. Okay. Love and light, everybody. Peace. God bless. Good night.